Welcome to Meathead Test Kitchen, where food and fitness come to hang out. Nutrition, training, and life. It's all fair game on Meathead Test Kitchen.
Welcome to Meathead Test Kitchen, a podcast where food and fitness come to hang out. I'm Sadie.
I'm Sausha.
Swimsuit season is almost here. I don't know if you've been outside today. In Nebraska, it's particularly chilly. However, yeah, we rocked the space heater before we started the episode today. Swimsuit season is almost here. A lot of people have been asking questions on Reddit, Instagram, anywhere else people discuss fitness, all about cardio. There's a lot of information out there. We've got the quick and dirty for you and a super nerdy chat about cardio, HIIT, and Metcons coming your way. Shall we? Also, first, before we get started, if you have a body and you're going to the beach, you have a beach body.
Yes.
You don't have to have abs. You don't have to have Giselle's ass to wear a bikini. Like if you have a body and you're going to the beach, boom, beach body.
Right, exactly. It's also like if you are running, you are a runner.
Yeah.
Like
doesn't matter what you look like.
If you're doing it, that is what you are. Yeah. Like just because you don't fit into the confines of what society and diet and fitness culture try to tell you have to look like, which is ridiculous, doesn't mean that you're not that thing.
Traditional beauty is bullshit coming from two non-traditional chicks.
Yes, absolutely. We want to start off with cardio, and I'm glad that we're starting off with this one because there's so much information out there and misinformation out there that I think it's really important to hit it right off the bat. Cardio, by definition, is cardiovascular exercise. Per dictionary.com, it's any type of exercise that gets your heart rate up and keeps it up for a prolonged period of time. Your respiratory system will start working harder as you begin to breathe faster and more deeply. What makes cardio different from strength training is that it relies on your body's ability to use oxygen during your session. A person's cardio capacity can vary based on a few factors: genetics, age, sex, body comp, and your fitness level.
Yeah, I mean, if you are newer to fitness, your cardio capacity isn't going to be as high as, say, mine or Sasha's is.
Right.
Because we do a lot of training to raise our cardio capacity, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yes.
But cardio training does have advantages and disadvantages. Like anything, you're going to have to do the old Venn diagram and see where you want, where your circles line up and which one is the way to go. So let's start with the benefits. The benefits of cardio: it burns fat and calories. It makes it easier for you to lose weight. This is why when you start a weight loss plan, your trainer, your coach, whoever is going to suggest supplementary cardio in addition to weight training. In my opinion, when you're starting fitness, you need both. They have this beautiful, beautiful synergy that goes together.
They work off of each
strength.
other. Well, and one benefits the other very much so.
Yes, absolutely.
In terms of capacity.
Yeah. If your cardio is better, your weightlifting workouts are going to be better because you're going to get less tired as fast. So that's how that kind of translates over. If you didn't really know the correlation between cardio and weightlifting, that's kind of where it's at. Yeah. Cardio enhances your sleep quality. I mean, if you've gone swimming all day and then you come home, you sleep like a baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best.
Tired. You are tired.
It improves your sex life. Hello. Yeah. You can go longer if you're not tired. And everybody wants that. Trust me. Nobody wants a 2-pump chump. Ladies, fellas, nobody wants a 2-pump chump. So work on your cardio. Sexy time will be a whole lot more fun.
Yes.
It helps you look and feel better. Cardio is one of those things that it's difficult. A lot of people hate it. It's really hard to get used to, and it's kind of difficult to get good at. Like, think about running, think about rowing, think about biking. Like, they're all very specific form guidelines, and they can be difficult. That can turn people off. I know a lot of people that have started running that hate running because they don't run correctly. So if running is something that you are interested in, go to a running store. Go to a place that has a treadmill in the store when you're buying your running shoes. Yeah. Because you need them to map your stride. If you're going to really take on running, because if you don't map your stride, it's going to fuck up your feet. It's going to fuck up your ankles. It's going to make your knees mad at you. Yes. And guess what? It all starts from the bottom. So your knees, your ankles, your back's mad. Your hips are mad.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be mad.
And your hips are going to, if you're not used to running, your hips are going to be mad anyway because they're not used to that prolonged movement.
Yeah.
It just makes sure you're stretching. Stretching is great.
Yeah.
For reducing that.
Yes, cardio, another advantage of it is it helps you reduce your risk of heart attack, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, some forms of cancer, and it strengthens your heart so your heart moves your blood easier in your body.
Yes. Yeah.
the better your cardio is, the lower your heart rate's going to be at rest. And the lower your heart rate at rest is better because the less work your body is doing while you're relaxing.
Yes, to move the blood throughout your body.
Yeah.
And you want that.
Yeah, you want, like us, I'm generally, like, when I'm in it, my resting heart rate is between 45 and 50 beats per minute.
Yeah, mine's a little higher than that, but I also smoke. So that's part of it.
Yeah, it is part of it.
There are some disadvantages, obviously, with anything, but disadvantages with cardio. Too much cardio can lead to overtraining in certain situations.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm actually going to be doing the same training again for the half marathon, but
are you going to make me start running?
No.
Okay.
You really have to be balanced there, because you don't want to you want to do strength training because it's very important to keep those muscles trained for running. But you can overtrain very easily in those situations. It can promote muscle loss by being in a constant calorie deficit. When you are doing a lot of cardio, when it comes to your nutrition, you should be balancing that out as well.
Yeah.
When cardio obviously burns more calories. I mean, that's because your heart rate is going.
Yeah.
And, like it just is how it is. But eating a little bit more is going to help prevent some of that muscle loss that can occur.
Carbs, also carbs.
Oh, yes. Carbs are super important. If you do too much cardio, your body adapts to it also and can retain fat even though you are running or you're swimming a bunch.
This is, I'm not going to stare. I'm just using the word cardio bunny because it's a very well-known term. I'm not talking shit on anybody. If you love cardio, cool. I started out as a cardio bunny. Like, I was only the elliptical and only the treadmill because those were the only two pieces of equipment I felt comfortable using. And you know what? Who cares? Do you? Yeah. But one of the things that I see girls that do a lot of cardio and only cardio is they have negative butt mass.
Yeah.
When you do a lot of cardio and you're not eating as much as you should be to support that cardio, your body will eat all of your muscle. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. There's a big, long scientific name about it, and we'll get there in a minute. But your nutrition, if you're doing cardio as like the centerpiece of your fitness plan, needs to be on point. You need to be eating to support your rowing. You need to be eating to support your running. You need to be eating to support your biking, because those are things where you're going to cover miles and miles and miles like that, and you're going to be cashed out before you know it if you don't have a good meal in you.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's you can overtrain because you're under eating.
Yeah, that too.
So, for example, like the one thing that I hadn't taken into account the last time I did half marathon training was the amount of carbs I was going to have to eat. Your protein is going to stay the same based on your body weight. That number doesn't typically go up. You don't have to eat more than, 1 gram of 1 gram of protein per pound of body,
usually
body mass. But carbs are the fuel. We've talked about this quite a bit. Carbs are your fuel. So if you're going to be adding a bunch of cardio, you should be eating more carbs than you think you should be eating, probably.
Your distance should be relative to how many carbs you're eating a day and the day before. Especially if you're going to be distance running, you need to be eating those complex carbs the night before your run so that your body has those in the tank and ready to burn when you go out.
Yes.
When people pick their cardio, you always agree with me about running stuff. I'm like, yeah, I actually know that. I don't run, but I've read about it a lot. When people pick their cardio, you get to pick between a couple options. You've got steady state, which can come in a couple different intensities. You can also have interval training. So steady state is maintaining a constant speed, level of intensity, and or rate of work during a session. So you're going to hop on the treadmill. Your trainer says, okay, Sadie, today we're going to have you do 25 minutes of steady state cardio at the end of your run or at the end of your workout. You're going to go 3.5 miles per hour. You're going to put that thing on 10% incline and you're just going to walk. Steady state cardio. So your effort remains the same. Your speed remains the same. Your exertion remains the same throughout for the most part. I mean, you might ebb and flow within a workout like you would any workout. You might get a little tired, but you're not going to drop your speed or raise it at all.
Right.
Your training intensity can be measured by keeping your consistent work rate and level at a certain percentage of your max heart rate or your VO2 max. We're getting real nerdy there. Your VO2 max is how much oxygen your blood and your body can hold while you're working out.
Yep.
If you want to get super, super nerdy, you can work with RPE, which is a rating of perceived exertion. RPE is really advanced fitness methodology, though. I don't even use RPE.
And it's difficult, I think, too, especially like towards the beginning of a journey, because you're not
You have no idea what
you
a 1 to
haven't
10
reached
is.
a goal yet. Yeah. So I don't use RPE either. I mean, I could tell you at the end of a Metcon how shitty it was, but I don't use RPE.
Yeah. If you're laying on the ground, it's a 10. That's your rate of perceived exertion. So RPE is a scale 1 to 10 to judge your level of difficulty. 1 being easy as 10 being, holy shit, this was really difficult.
Yes.
The only people that I personally know that work with RPE are like competitive CrossFitters, competitive Olympic weightlifters, powerlifters. RPE, for the most part, probably isn't going to pertain to anything you're going to be doing, especially if you're just starting or you're like intermediate fitness.
Yeah.
But if you are getting into more of that like competitive fitness arena, or you just really, really want to hit your training hard, RPE might be for you. We might have to do a whole episode about RPE. That's really confusing.
Well, and there's a lot that goes into it also. So we probably could do that. Maybe a little bonus episode.
Put thumbtack in there.
There's also interval training. So that alternates between periods of high intensity exertion and lower intensity recovery. So if you think of Tabata, so 20 seconds, you're going as hard as you can, 10 seconds rest. Usually it's 8 rounds. Both high and low intensity intervals can be measured as a percentage of max heart rate, the VO2 max or RPE, like we mentioned. These tend to be, there tends to be some confusion regarding HIIT, so high intensity interval training on message boards. So we're going to break that down next.
Yeah, HIIT's one of those things where people have a lot of questions, and people use the term HIIT very blanket wise, and they shouldn't. So let's talk about the advantages of HIIT. HIIT can be really effective at improving your aerobic capacity and calorie burning in less time than compared to steady state training, because you have your interval where you're going to max out, and then you've got your set rest, interval rest, interval rest. So if you've ever watched the Insanity infomercial from Beachbody,
if you've ever been to Orange Theory, they do that like for your entire hour that you're there, basically.
HIIT training can be super useful. It depends on the camp of fitness you're in. Some people don't like HIIT. I think it serves its purpose. You don't need it all the time. HIIT should not be your main source of workout. Because
it should be supplementary.
For you.
That could be, I mean, that can be your cardio element.
Yeah, just do it after your lifts.
That's the one thing too that I think that should be clarified a little bit. Like cardio, in my opinion, should be saved for after any kind of lifting, because you want to have all the energy that you have to lift those weights. And then if you're wanting supplementary, you're adding your HIIT or you're running or whatever.
Yeah, throw your cardio in at the end, or make it an entirely different session. But you need at least 3 or 4 hours between those 2 sessions to give your body time to properly recover.
Absolutely.
You can do 2-a-days. You just have to be smart about it and have to give yourself the time in between to rest. It won't kill you. It will be challenging. 2-a-days are hard.
Yeah, they are. I love it, though, because it's challenging.
I know. It's like, all right, body, you feel like a bag of dicks right now, but we're going to do this anyway.
We're going to do this.
Interval training can be an effective strategy for people who get easily distracted or bored during their workouts. I mean, the opportunities with HIIT are endless. We can talk about that a little bit more.
Absolutely. You can improve the efficiency of type 2, so your fast twitch muscles.
Yes.
Fast twitch muscle fibers are broken down into 2 types. Type 2X and type 2A. Type 2X produces the most force, but they're really inefficient based on their ATP activity, the low oxidative capacity, and heavy reliance on anaerobic metabolism.
So there's
a lot of words there.
Yeah, like I said, we're getting really nerdy. When I explain something to you, I am going to explain it to the point that you're like, okay, we get it. So we're talking about fast twitch muscle fibers today. You're going to learn a thing. Sorry, didn't know if you knew that, but hey.
Type 2A are your intermediate muscle fibers. They're a mix of type 1, which is your slow twitch, and type 2X. They're able to use both aerobic and anaerobic energy systems and have a higher oxidative capacity and fatigue more slowly than type 2X.
Yeah, so your fast twitch muscles, they do burn out faster. That's kind of the rub with fast twitch versus slow twitch. Slow twitch is usually more the endurance muscle. Fast twitch is usually the more explosive.
Right. So like box jumps.
Yeah, you should train both.
Yeah.
They're both very beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing anything with weights. You really need to work on explosive movements. Explosive movements are going to burn a lot more calories.
Yep.
They're more complex, so you use more of your body. And it's an easier way to just kind of tighten up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and when you're doing those explosive movements, a lot of times is requiring you to use all of your muscles.
Yeah.
Like not every single muscle in your body, but the majority of them.
I mean, think about doing a split jerk. So if you're doing like a landmine split jerk, which is something I like to work in because they're fun, you start out with the weight here and your legs are together. And then you do the push where you push the weight up, but then you split your legs. So you've got that plyo, you've got the push, you've got all that transfer of energy, all really good for your body.
Yeah, everything has to be tight in order to get that explosiveness too. HIIT can help you train above your lactic threshold also, which can help stimulate production of muscle building. Yay! Woo! Fat burning hormones like testosterone and growth hormone.
Both good things.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the disadvantages of HIIT. HIIT increases your mechanical damage to your muscle tissue, which can lead to increased soreness or maybe the perception of a painful workout if you're not used to muscle soreness in that degree. It's an exercise that people who aren't used to won't really love at the beginning. You kind of have to work yourself into HIIT. We work with that steady state cardio, and it's like, all right, you're comfortable there. Cool. We're going to work into HIIT. Yeah. Your anaerobic metabolism gives you an accumulation of metabolic stress, and that can limit a muscle's ability to function. You will find if you do a lot of HIIT, you'll get to a point where your quads don't want to fucking move anymore.
Oh, yeah. Because they're
just stuck.
They're done. Yeah. They're stretched out.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it anymore, which is, I mean, not necessarily like you did a great job. Like we covered a couple episodes, like the pain.
Yeah.
But
pain isn't always a sign of a good workout.
But I mean, if you're exhausting those muscles, you're probably going to see gains of some kind.
Yes.
High mechanical stress of HIIT can lead to increased risk of muscle strain. Too much HIIT can diminish your glycogen stores and put you in gluconeogenesis, which we've talked about before on Carbs Are Your Friend. This limits the amount of protein available to repair muscle tissue after training.
Yeah, you don't want to overburn your muscles too much because if you overburden them way too much, they're not going to know how to repair themselves and they won't have the ability to repair themselves. So use HIIT wisely. Don't do it every day. A couple times a week. Yeah, cool. We don't want to forget about HIIT's less sexy cousin, LISS, low intensity, steady state cardio. So LISS is the complete opposite of HIIT. Instead of short bursts, you're going to aim for longer, lower levels of exertion over a period of time. So instead of like a 15-minute HIIT workout, you're going to take a 60-minute low, slow walk around the neighborhood or a 20-minute low, slow walk, or whatever you've got. It doesn't matter what your time crunch is. As long as you're doing something, you're good. LISS is walking, hiking, cycling. It has a ton of benefits. You're burning fat. It's good for your cardiovascular capacity. It's also scalable and accessible to all fitness levels, which is something we really believe in a lot. Fitness is for everybody. It doesn't matter what your skill level is, what your body type is, if you have physical impairments or not. Fitness is for everyone. You can find something for you if fitness is something that you're into, regardless of whatever barriers or challenges you might be facing. So LISS is really good for that. It's a great way for people who may not be able to take on some of the heavier or more intense things to stay in shape and to, stay healthy.
LISS is also great too for like wherever you are on your journey, but for recovery. That's my favorite thing to do for recovery is like just going for a hike or taking the dog for a longer walk. It just like moving helps loosen up those tight muscles.
DOMs meet LISS.
Yes. Another question that we see often, are HIIT and Metcons interchangeable?
Oh, if I had $1.
Now we're going to find out. I know.
$1 for every time somebody asks me this.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to talk about this.
Explain it? Yeah, yes. No, me too.
Metcon is short for metabolic conditioning, a type of workout that will test your cardiovascular system to the max and will get your heart rate up while building muscle. Pros and cons is HIIT a Metcon HIIT, and we're going to talk about them. First, the pros.
So first and foremost, Metcon is going to help you improve your lean muscle mass. This is why CrossFit leans on it so much because it's a great way to help build your cardio, but it's also a good way to put muscle mass on your body. We call it cardio weightlifting. Yeah, that's what I call it. Because it is. You're doing those movements at a quicker speed. They might be at a rep scheme.
Probably lighter weight.
Don't listen to Jillian Michaels when she talks about Metcons because, again, I'm not going to say not nice things about people I don't know, but she has no fucking idea what she's talking about. So if you've watched that video on Instagram where Jillian Michaels does CrossFit, she says that burpees hurt her toes.
Okay.
So you can't do a burpee box jump?
Shoes on?
Yeah, maybe wear shoes.
Then
You abused people on The Biggest Loser for years, and you're telling me that you can't do a fucking burpee box jump.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Metcons are going to help you improve lean muscle mass. I just did the thing I didn't say I was going to do, but you know what? Fuck it. We're all searching for lean muscle mass. Research has shown that the body needs that both moderate and high intensity Metcon to reduce your body fat percentage. Regular weight training Metcons can help you build muscle while you're working on your cardio fitness, which is a double win. A lot of Metcons and CrossFit will be like hang cleans or deadlifts or squats, and it's all done with very specific form and very specific loading. People like
pull-ups, shoulder to overheads, kettlebell swings.
People love to demonize the Metcon because they think it's unsafe. Anything that you do in CrossFit itself is completely safe and not going to hurt you if you know proper form and if you have proper loading. Both of those things come from a good coach. So if that is something that you're looking into, if you want to dip your toe into the Metcon pool, talk to a pro first.
Yeah.
Not something you should do on your own because you can open yourself up for injury.
Yeah, you can. Very easily.
Yes.
Muscles burn more calories than fat. We know this. That's common knowledge. We've talked about it quite a bit before on this podcast. And using Metcons helps you add muscle tone to your body while improving your metabolism because you're doing those movements quickly and you're also using weight.
Yeah, you're destroying those muscle fibers while you're doing that cardio. So you're getting the double whammy. A lot of times you'll hear trainers or coaches or whatever say you can't lose fat while putting on muscle mass. You can.
It's slow.
It's
slower.
slow. It's really difficult. You have to have your nutrition just in the sweet spot so that you are in between, so that you're not losing mass, but you're also not putting on too much fluff. Because it is cutting season and that people are worried about that right now. I don't know. They think that we're going to be able to go be social soon or something now that everybody's getting shots. What a thought. So the cons of Metcons. Cons of Metcons. Yeah, I didn't do that on purpose, I promise. As with anything, you can leave yourself open for injury if you're not used to a Metcon. Like we said before, if you're interested in working and conditioning with your training plan, talk to a pro. They're going to steer you in the right direction. You always want to avoid injury at all if possible.
And any CrossFit box is going to have an intro course that you can go through to show you the movements properly and show you what weights and how to load everything properly. Metcons usually require equipment.
Yeah.
This is where HIIT and steady state cardio have the advantage because you can easily go outside and run. You don't have to have a treadmill.
Yeah, you can do 200-meter repeats down the street.
Right. And you can do body weight movements with HIIT super easily, especially if you're on a budget or you have a space crunch. You don't have room in your apartment or your house for a barbell or a bunch of free weights. HIIT has the advantage there.
It does have the advantage. You can do a lot with the rubber bands too. Just the big ones, the little ones, the ones with the handles. You can use all of that for HIIT. You can use it for a Metcon too. You just need to know how to modify those movements because doing things with bands is going to have a little bit of a different setup because you're pulling in different directions.
Yeah.
So is HIIT a Metcon? Is Metcon HIIT? What's the difference? Metcons are high intensity. They have a fixed or variable rest that can depend on when the individual's ready to go do the next set with good form and good range of motion. Let me accentuate that again. With good form and good range of motion. This is why CrossFit gets demonized so fucking much, is because there are people out there that do it without good form and good range of motion. We saw that video of Marjorie Taylor Greene last week on Twitter where everyone is shitting on her for doing butterfly pull-ups and push presses. There's nothing wrong with the actual movements of butterfly pull-ups and push presses if you're doing them right. Her form, not my favorite, not my business. I'm not doing her work. She's doing her work. So if her body feels good, that's up to her. So you got to kind of know what you're doing, find someone that knows what they're doing, or read a whole lot about it. Yeah. You really need that good form and good range of motion. I can't stress that enough. That's really, really, really important in any workout, not just Metcons.
Yeah.
Metcons can be done as weighted circuits. They can be single activities like swimming, running, rowing, biking. You can do repeats and then have that rest period for when you're ready to go again. Those usually look like as many rounds as possible, not for time. Usually if you get a Metcon that is not like that, where it's just like swimming or running or rowing, it'll be for quality. So you'll do your work and then you'll rest so you feel like you're rested, and then you'll go again, versus the timer where you might have 60, 90 seconds between.
Right.
Gymnastic movements can be done in Metcons, which we just talked about with like the pull-ups. We've talked about handstands before. All of that stuff within CrossFit can be done in a Metcon, or it could be a combination of all of them. Mm-hmm. So you could have deadlifts, and then you have a 50-foot handstand walk, and then you've got box jumps, and that might be your Metcon for the day. So you've got your explosive, you've got your weightlifting, and you've got your gymnastics. You got all three. You got a salad.
I love Metcons personally.
They're my favorite. They're my favorite.
On the other hand, high intensity interval training is high intensity, 80% or more max heart rate, or an 8 to 10 RPE. HIIT has periods of rest or active recovery, but they're usually very specific, fixed periods of time. HIIT is often done in single modality activities like running, rowing, biking, swimming, but they aren't set up. There aren't any set rules for these types of workouts having to be just one type. You can do body weight HIIT circuits, like we mentioned. Sometimes there's weight involved. I mean, they look. I don't mind HIIT either.
No, they're both useful.
Usually it's not very heavy weight.
Yeah, but that's with the Metcon too, though. Like you can scale that weight back for the Metcon depending on how many reps or how many rounds you have. So if say you have a 10-round Metcon, your squats are only going to be like 95 pounds versus like 205, where if you had a 3-round Metcon and you were going for that, like find your 3-rep max.
Right.
They are a little bit interchangeable. Circuit training does fall into both the Metcon and the HIIT. That's like the middle of your Venn diagram. Yeah. So you've got Metcon, you've got HIIT, then you've got circuit training, which is right here in the middle. Circuit training is great. That's another thing that I kind of use to get started with fitness. I don't know if anybody here knows her. Her name's Kayla Itzines. she's from Australia. She was
the Sweat app.
Before she had the Sweat app, I was doing her circuit. Like I was buying those, and she was shipping them from Australia. They're great. They're really good introductory. They help you figure out how to do a push-up. They help you do a squat with smaller body weights. Like people shit on that stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's such a dude." Everything serves its purpose.
I mean, when I was, our 4th wedding anniversary is coming up, but 4 years ago when I was trying to get back in, I was trying to change my training up because I was just doing like what the fuck ever, and I wanted something more structured. So I actually downloaded the app and had it for a couple months, and then started writing my own stuff with heavier weights. But it serves its purpose. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's fairly inexpensive,
and
she knows what she's doing. Yeah,
you're not going to put on a lot of muscle mass, but you will get comfortable with those movements.
Yes.
Very comfortable with those movements. She does step ups. She's great.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can get her on the show. It's been a minute since I've talked to her, but the Sweat app is a good resource. Like there are a million apps out there. There are a million training plans out there. Honestly, the best one is the one that you decide fits your scenario the best.
Yeah.
There is no single perfect training for anybody.
And with anything else, like you don't want to just like throw yourself full bore. Like you want to ease into that stuff. Yeah. Especially cardio, because you want to have some kind of a training plan. You don't want to hurt yourself. You want to make sure that you can do the movements correctly if you're doing a Metcon, even if you're doing HIIT. If you get injured right off the bat and like you're not able to do anything, like that's really going to suck. So just set yourself up for success, do a little research, ask somebody if you need to. You can email us, hello@meatheadtestkitchen.com. If it sucks, remember, you're not going to want to keep doing it, right?
Yeah, make it enjoyable.
Like, find your cardio that you enjoy doing, and if you want to continue doing cardio, do that. But just make sure you like it, because if you hate it, you're not going to stick with it. Yeah. There are all kinds of timer apps. For Metcons, I use the WOD timer. It's free. I don't know about, I don't have an iPhone, but for Android, it's free. I would assume it's the same for iPhone users, or even a wall timer. You can find a fairly inexpensive wall timer on Amazon, or really anywhere. Just search for wall timer.
Or if you don't want to throw down $100 for a wall timer, get a magnetic egg timer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's perfect too.
Serves the same purpose.
Yeah.
It's not as big, but you can see it.
On iPhone, I use the Seconds app.
Yeah.
They have a free version and a premium version. The free version is just basic. You can kind of put in your intervals. The premium version, you can save your intervals. I also like what is the other one I use? I have a couple. It depends on the day. If I want to take video with it, I use one. If I don't want to take video, WeTime is a good one. And then the Trifecta app, if you pay for it, I won a free premium lifetime subscription from them forever ago. They have a really good WOD timer, and their app in general is just really good because you can track your food, you can track your workouts, and you can kind of just track all of your body stats in one app. It does cost monthly for the premium version. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but something that I've actually personally been using for a long time that I do like is the Trifecta app. It's a good one-stop shop.
Yeah. I like the WOD timer because there's also WOD generator and they are tied together. If you want to, WOD is workout of the day. It generates random Metcons for you, but the WOD timer also keeps track of your time, whether it was as an AMRAP as many rounds as possible, or if it was an EMOM 10 every minute on the minute. It keeps track of your time for you also.
Because that's terrible when you forget what round you're in the middle of a WOD.
Or you forget your time. I'm like, I really love for time, and I get pissed at myself when I don't save it because I want to know what my damn time was so I can beat it next time.
We need to get you a wall
tangent. But one of my other favorite types of Metcons is doing like 3 rounds for time. You have a rest, and then you do those 3 rounds for time to see if you can
beat your first round.
You can either beat it or match it. Those are really fun. If you feel like dying. Yeah,
they're hard. If you like not breathing.
Yes, they're great. But just, do a little research. You can find timers they're free. You can get an app. You can get an egg timer. Timers are probably a good idea, especially if you're going to be doing HIIT or Metcons.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier because excuse me. The treadmill timer is weird if you're trying to time your intervals on your own because you have to like write it down and stuff.
Yeah, it just makes it more difficult. There's all kinds of solutions, like we said, for all kinds of different budgets. If you need some ideas, obviously feel free to reach out to us at hello@meatheadtestkitchen.com, or you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's at Meathead Test Kitchen everywhere except for Twitter. Damn it.
MTK
staff.
Because they have a character limit and our name is too damn long.
And we will have our show notes up on the website, meatheadtestkitchen.com. If you want some Metcon ideas, we both, between the two of us, have quite a few.
I have an entire book of them, actually, a whole notebook of Metcons I've been writing for some of our training plans that we can't release yet because I'm not a certified personal trainer, but soon. Meathead Athletics. Keep an eye out on that on Instagram and Twitter, and I think we have a TikTok for that too. I don't remember. We have so much. All of the social media. If you look up Meathead Test Kitchen in Google, you will find literally everything that we have because our SEO is awesome. We'd love to hear from you. How you're doing, what you're up to. Have you got your COVID shot yet? You got yours yesterday.
I did.
I'm getting my second stabbing today. I'm ready. As my friend Sarah said, I'm ready to be microchipped and released out into the wild like a feral cat.
Remember too, guys and gals and anyone listening, after you have your second shot, it's still 2 weeks after that before you're fully vaccinated. 10 days to 2 weeks. As a reminder.
They usually book you 3 weeks between your 2 doses and then 2 weeks after your second dose. So I will be free to mingle in 2 weeks from today. Wow, what a concept. I don't have to be paranoid about breathing on people anymore.
Yes. We are proud to be a Hurrdat Media podcast. Again, follow us on social media at Meathead Test Kitchen on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, MTK Staff on Twitter, and find our show anywhere you find your podcasts. Literally anywhere.
Basically.
Anywhere, except for SoundCloud, which I'm not sure how many people listen to SoundCloud anymore. But beside the point. You can find us anywhere.
App still. I know they still have an app, but I haven't used SoundCloud since SoundCloud's like my emo kid days, like my actual emo kid days. SoundCloud.
Oh, special place.
Soft spot.
Livejournal.com.
Oh my God.
We do have merch also. You can find find it at shop@hurrdatmedia.com. We have got sweatshirts. We're going to be putting t-shirts in there because it's getting warmer outside. We got some gym bags. If we have a poster.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. Hats.
Hit it up and find something you like and rock MTK everywhere you go.
I think we're going to do a merch giveaway on our Instagram very soon because we're almost up to a couple hundred followers. So if you don't follow us on Instagram yet and you would like some free Meathead Test Kitchen merch, you know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, have a good week. Be good to each other. Wear your mask. Get your COVID shot, for God's sakes, if it's available to you, especially in Nebraska. We have a waste problem in this state with COVID shots. We have an abundance of them. So if you haven't gotten yours yet and you're feeling guilty that you're going to take someone's spot in line, don't.
It's opened.
It's open season, baby.
Yep.
It's open season. Go get your shot. Protect yourself so that you can see your friends and your family.
Yes.
God, I can't wait to give other people hugs.
I know, right?
The hug embargo is almost over.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next Monday.
MTK, out.
Join Sadie and Sausha every Monday, helping to make your fitness and nutrition journey suck less. MTK.